case you're new here, here's a brief history of my kitchen. Counters cluttered, cabinets cluttered, drawers cluttered. Basically 90% of everything in my kitchen was just clutter at one point. It made it nearly impossible to clean and way too difficult to find items I actually needed. I went through a decluttering journey, got rid of so much stuff, but the clutter, as it does, is creeping back up again. My cabinets are starting to look real messy. I need to figure out some organization systems, so I went on Amazon. I got a whole lot of stuff, but before we get to organizing, we need to clear out the clutter. So this is a decluttering and organization video today. I recently heard that there are 3 stages to having a clean home. 3 stages, 3 layers. I can't remember where I saw this. I don't know, I do so much scrolling. I can never remember where the information originally entered my brain, but this lady was talking about the 3 layers or stages to getting a tidy or clean looking home. Basically, layer 1 is just getting through the clutter. You can't clean clutter. So the first step that's vitally important is getting the clutter out of the way so that you can get to the layer 2, which is cleaning the area. Once surfaces are cleared, you can actually clean. And then layer 3, the final one, is the organizing, beautifying, decorating of a space. So what was that? Clutter, clean, organize, and decorate. So we're gonna hit all 3 of those points today, starting now.
Boom, here we are in my kitchen, and I got a lot of stuff in my cabinets, as you can see. Now, we are not going to work through this KonMai method style. I just don't confidently feel like I can get all of this done before I have to pick up my kids from school. So I'm trying to keep it realistic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work section by section in my kitchens. I'm going to work through this quad first, then move over to that quad, then over to that quad, and do as many quads as I can before the bus comes. And in each quad, we are going to work through the 3 layers we talked about before. We're going to declutter the area, clean it, and then beautify it, to organize it with whatever materials, tools I have Amazon to my house this week. So I'll start by clearing out the quad behind me, and then we'll get to decluttering. I realize that I'm a basic B, and I have a problem with having too many Stanleys. None of these are getting decluttered though. All right, slight pivot change. I'm just gonna focus on 2 cabinets at a time because this is already a lot of crap to go through. All right, here is the mess. That was just those 2 cabinets. I ordered so much crap off Amazon. They left this giant bin thing at my door with all my packages in it. So I'm going to utilize this right now to house all of my declutter stuff that's nice enough to donate, because there's some stuff I'm already seeing that's 1000% a declutter, but it's really nice stuff, so it's worth donating. Now for the decluttering. I already found my first things that I definitely want to declutter, and it is the 4 of these champagne crystal flutes that I want no one in my family to use as a celebratory item ever again, because these are the champagne flutes I drank out of at my wedding. And if you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Mai, and I am a divorcee. I split from my ex-husband about 2 years ago, and it's been 1 year since the divorce has went through, roughly. But anyways, I've moved on. I just don't really need mementos from my wedding day chilling in my house anymore. I need to create a donate pile for fragile items, because I obviously can't just throw crystal items in this giant bin and have them break. They are really nice. I hope someone can get good use out of them in the future. I don't have any newspaper. Who gets newspapers nowadays? I need to figure out how to wrap these carefully so that I can properly donate them. I'm gonna create a donate pile over there of the fragile items, and I'm adding these to that right now. Keeping these, decluttering these. I mean, these are cool, but I've already broken a few of them. They're extremely fragile and not child friendly. I don't know. I'm not gonna use them. These are definite keeps. This is so extra. They go on top of your Stanleys. So if you're watching a movie, whatever, just being ridiculous, you can put all kinds of little snackies in here and snack and drink all in one. These I can toss. I have no use for them anymore. They're really beautiful and I liked them when I used them, but I way prefer the items I got off of Amazon now that allows you to both pour and spray your oils. I'll have a link down below to my Amazon storefront where you can find everything in this video. But yeah, I much prefer what I have now, so I don't have any use for these. All right, I get it. I have an excessive amount of cups, but I'm just not in a place to get rid of any of them. I love all of them. This is kind of a hodgepodge mess here. I think I'm going to clean these shelves and then start organizing it. And essentially what doesn't fit is going to get decluttered. I got these acrylic water bottle holders to help organize my 40-ounce Stanley's, thermoflasks, Yetis. I have so many different things to organize. And I like that this will allow you to see all of it. And then I got this also to help organize the lids. These are spill-proof thermoflasks. I love them. They come with a sippy straw, and these are the ones I fill and let my kids carry around when we do our all-day adventure days. They need lots of water, and I need them to be spill-proof. The Stanleys aren't like 100% spill-proof. Stanleys are only going on the top, I guess. My Yeti fits on the bottom there. I have so many tiny little lids and piece things here. Once upon a time, I was making myself all kinds of overnight oats, and I've kind of fallen off of that train. Kind of got sick of them. I don't know, ADHD, sometimes you become obsessed with things. I was obsessed with overnight oats. I would have them every single day without fail. And then one day I just didn't like them anymore. And now I have all these containers that were meant for overnight oats that I do not use. So I don't know, what do I do with all of these containers that I don't use anymore? What if I become obsessed with overnight oats again? I don't know. As I'm thinking about it right now, I kind of want some. I'm keeping this Brewmate. It's great for keeping like the skinny seltzers cold. Basically, I'm just matching lids right now to see which ones have all the components, and the ones that don't are going to be decluttered. Yay, my cups are so beautiful. Next, I don't know if I love this. I feel like these could have been a little bit shorter for my needs, but I was always having to lift the little plates off of the big plates, and now they can just be on their separate little shelves. It's good enough. It still creates some separation, so I'm not having to constantly remove the little plates just to get to the big ones, which are used the most. Then we got our bowls. Adult bowls, kid bowls. I really don't drink hardly at all, so then I think I'm gonna put my wine glasses up here. I can't even begin to reach up there hardly, so I'm only going to utilize that super top shelf if I have something that is maybe seasonal that I'll keep because I use it every Halloween, but I never really need it. Everything else is reachable and beautiful now. Barb the Builder in the house. I am going to build the other one of these shelves over here. When you ordered it on Amazon, it was only a choice to get 2 of them, so I might as well build the other one. I have it on the lower shelf on the other one, which doesn't give a lot of room for this shelf, but you know, if I had put it on the second shelf, this makes a lot more sense. So I'm actually liking this a lot more the longer I have it. I'm running low on paper plates right now, but honestly, it's probably gonna house my large and then smaller paper plates for when I'm feeling really lazy. Then this is kind of just my hodgepodge cup area. I feel like this is such a bachelorette type thing to say, but I don't have normal drinking cups, you know, basic 12, 16 ounce glass drinking cups for when people come over. I'm always drinking out of my huge thermoses, and when my mom friends come over and they want to drink, I either fill them a water in one of my Stanleys, or I, you know, give them a can of soda or a seltzer or something like that. But I kind of feel like that's a mildly immature thing to be doing. I feel like to be a real grown-up, I need actual drinking glasses. So this might be my space for 8 normal people drinking glasses. So not everyone has to be drinking out of huge thermoses at my house. In the event that I somehow get super into making overnight oats again, I am keeping 5 of these, maybe 6. We'll keep it a nice round number. There was a lot that I trashed out of there, and then also all these little pieces, I feel bad throwing them away, but they have no partner, no home, so they're just gonna go. Moving down to the bottom cabinets, these are a mess and there's no organization to them right now. I think I'm just going to clear out the entire bottom wall of cabinets on this side, because before I can get to decluttering, I need to establish what I even have. I really don't know what's in any of these bottom cabinets. So I'm clearing it all out and then we're going to declutter and then organize all the bottoms. Yeah, I think that's the plan. I have one area that I recently properly organized with this thingamajigger and I love it. I organized everything from tallest to shortest so I can see everything. I can pull everything out easily, but I obviously cannot say the same thing about this side over here. I'm gonna keep that in since it obviously is organized and looks nice. Not sure what that is. All right, there is a lot of crap here. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group like items together, like all these baking dishes, and see what I have an excess amount of. I feel like I have a lot of Pyrex. I simply don't need this many baking dishes. I like to bake. I never bake this much at any given time. So then what do I actually need? I only need one of these big ones. Realistically, I only need these 3 Pyrex that all come with a lid. I do like this one for making my banana bread, but I don't need the one I already moved away, and I don't need these ones. I have 2 of these. Do not need 2. Honestly, don't even know what this is, so I can get rid of it. I've talked about this before, the viral onion chopper thing that people are using to make delicious chopped salads. They're putting in their lettuce, their carrots, their cucumbers, their onions, their like everything, and then they chop it right into here, and then you already have the bowl to eat it out of, minimal dishes, and you've just made yourself a chopped salad. So I'm keeping this. These are the other pieces that go with it. Obviously, it's in the packaging. I only have used this one and this one. I'm going to be real with myself. I don't need these extra accessories that I've literally never used before. This is really pretty and it's heavy, pure marble, but it's way too small to serve to a group. I am going to keep my larger serving boards. Whew! I've actually decluttered a lot already, and I've also trashed a lot of stuff. We're in the last cabinet right now. I'm getting rid of these little thermoses. They're really, really nice. I really liked them while I had good use for them. But when my kids were in preschool, I had to pack their lunches every day. And I would oftentimes just make extra food for dinner. And then I would heat it up in the morning, put it in these little thermoses for them, and pack them in their lunchbox for school. And it came with a spoon that fit in this lid. All the spoons for all of these have been lost. So they don't even have their utensils that conveniently go with them anymore. And at this point, my kids' school serves them hot lunch and my kids like it enough. So I have no reason to pack them lunches anymore. I feel bad donating these without the little spoon thing. You can probably buy the spoon thing online, but they're still nice. I highly recommend if you have to pack your kids a lunch so that they can have a hot lunch. It keeps it nice and warm all the way till lunchtime and beyond if they don't finish it. I love these and I kind of feel bad getting rid of them because I've gotten such good use out of them. They're little snack containers that fit perfectly and conveniently in your kids' car seat cup holders. So you can pack 3 different little snackies for them and then road trip and they can, get their own snack. I don't know why I'm explaining how a snack container works. Everyone already knows this. But anyways, I really liked these, but I've stopped using them because I am much more strict about food in my car now. I banned food for a little bit, realized that was not realistic for me with 3 boys that are hungry all the time and we're driving all over the place. Yes, if it's a 5, 10, 15-minute drive, we can survive without food, but we go on a lot of road trips or we drive over to my boyfriend's house who lives an hour away and we're just eating on the go a lot. So did I ban food? Yes. Did I allow it within a month? Yes. I am just more strict on the food that is allowed. I don't allow the little piece foods that would fit conveniently into these, so we don't use them anymore because when they were eating goldfish or Cheez-Its or Cheetos, we really like all the cheese things. 1 or 2 of those little crackers will bounce out when we hit a bump, fall on the floor, they step on it, it gets crushed into the carpet. So I only allow bars and fruit strips now, things that are just one continuous large piece. So if they accidentally drop drop it, it's the whole thing. They can pick it up at, I guess, lesser risk of getting stamped into the flooring. So I'm just going with less risky food options now. Not little piecey foods that can go all over the place. So these are getting decluttered, but we're sticking with bars and singular fruit strips, not fruit snacks. Does that make sense? It's really helped keep my car cleaner. My car is not clean, but it's cleaner. This has been an OG long-term love in my kitchen. It is a cutting board that comes with all these little dishwashable little strips that you can put over the top. Don't get me wrong, I did love this for years, but now that I guess I cook more frequently, aka my boyfriend cooks and I kind of am sous chef and help him out sometimes, I've learned that it's not really great to have a cutting board that has no sticky bottom and just moves all over the place. So at this point now, I have a larger wood chopping block, and then my plastic ones that are dishwasher safe have non-slip components on it so that it's not slipping all over the place and you're not at risk of like slicing yourself when you're cutting things. I've already cleaned out all these cabinets, so now I can get to putting stuff away. There's still a little stain that won't come out, but it's better than before. Oh, what is happening here? Oh, it smells awful. It smells so bad. All right, sanitizing wipe. The first thing I'm going to put away should probably be a declutter. It's this Instant Pot. I can count on one hand how many times I have used this thing. Maybe this fall will be the season that I learn how to properly use this. Maybe, hopefully. If the next time I do a kitchen declutter video, I can still count on one hand how many times I've used this, it will be a declutter, but I'm just not ready to do that yet. I have hope still. I need to get another one of those, the things I'm using for the lid holders, because I could use that to hold upright all of these things in here. To give you an idea of how large this is, I'm just showing you that I fully fit in here and have plenty of room to spare. Y'all, we are making our way. These cabinets are so much tidier than they were before, and some of them are like pretty empty. Next, we're testing out another Amazon find. Now, this could be potentially the dumbest purchase I've ever made in my life, because what is it? It's an adhesive pull-out drawer, and it's an adhesive pull-out drawer. So yes, there are technically no screws necessary in this. It apparently has really heavy duty, super duper sticky stuff that goes on the bottom. I got this because this cabinet goes so deep. If I want to reach something in the way back, I have to get on the floor. And I really got to reach my short little arms, practically go in the cabinet to pull something out. So my hope is that I don't have to reach down and under and in to this cabinet in order to reach the stuff in the back. I can just use this to pull out and easily access what I need. So first things first, pull everything out, declutter. First, I want to see how this thingy-majiggy works. All right, so this is useless for me because it doesn't even fit. I guess so much for that. I don't pack lunches anymore, so all of this has kind of just been sitting here unused. I may still keep about 8 of these little lunchable things, because now that I have my 3 boys plus my boyfriend's 2 boys occasionally, when I do adventure days, there's 5 little kids that I have to feed, and instead of going and spending my entire paycheck on McDonald's or something, I'll just pack little adventure day lunch boxes in these. I wish that little pull-out drawer thing would have worked. That would have been nice. All right, all done. Whew, I'm getting sweaty. All right, we just completed this whole wall of cabinets here, this cabinet here. Now we're gonna move to the drawers, and I'm gonna give myself a little credit where credit is due. I have done a stellar job of keeping my drawers nice, organized, tidy, decluttered. Like, look at this right here. Is this not a thing of beauty? Also, I have been using this clear museum gel to keep my little drawers intact and in place because there is a slight gap back here. So look at the drawers don't move because I have this clear museum gel keeping everything in place. This drawer could use improvement. Let's just declutter it right now. I don't need this one because this is all I ever use. Don't need this, whatever this trash is in here. I guess I pretty much do like everything in here. I've shared this drawer on my Instagram and TikTok, always shamelessly plugging, go follow me over there. But these, again, held in place with museum gel because there is a gap back here, so they were kind of rolling all over the place. My in-drawer knife block that I implemented when my kids were really little and were a little too interested in knives when they were sitting up here on the counter. So I had a child lock on this for a while, one of those magnet ones, but even though my kids are beyond that stage, I still like it in here because it just clears up counter space. And then we have this drawer. I personally, I need a museum gel these down, but I personally prefer the clear bins I showed you earlier over these white ones, but overall, this is still good enough. Okay, I just did all that. I probably should have unloaded the dishwasher. I mean, I guess I'll at least say if it's in the dishwasher, clearly I've recently used it, so it's probably not a declutter, but let's unload this. While it is relatively empty, I can disinfect and clean this thing because it's looking a little grimy. As I put all of these away, I am just realizing right now, these ugly utensils here were all a wedding gift, and I'm trying to purge my house of anything related to my past. And I can call this wedding gift ugly because I specifically registered for these ugly utensils. They were being good wedding guests and buying off of my registry. But yeah, realizing that as I put it away, I kind of forgot about that. It's giving me the perfect excuse to replace my ugly utensils with something new. All right, I need a snack break, and then we'll talk about what we were just talking about, the ugly utensils. Speaking of my past life, wedding, all of that stuff, I want to address comments that I've been getting more frequently lately, mainly on my YouTube, really not mainly on my YouTube shorts, only on my YouTube shorts. I've been getting comments along the lines of, why do you keep talking about your divorce? Stop talking about your divorce. Your divorce is your whole personality, blah, 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 blah. So let's talk about it. Why would someone who's divorced still be talking about their divorce? Maybe, just maybe, it's because it still affects them on a daily basis, which is why I keep talking about my divorce. So, all right, timeline for those of you who are not familiar. I found out some interesting information about my marriage roughly 2 years ago, and my ex moved out of the house. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, divorce is a lengthy process. So it wasn't until another year from then, roughly, that the divorce was finalized. So at this point, it's been a little bit over a year since my divorce was finalized, and I've moved on. I have a boyfriend. We've been together for roughly a year. He's the nicest person I've ever met in my life. I love him so much. Anyways, I'm getting off track and I'm getting giddy. Refocus. Why would someone talk about their divorce? Now, I can see if someone got married, never had kids with someone, and got a divorce, it would be so easy to just never talk about it again, just erase them from your memory and move on. I mean, not to minimize marriage, but I feel like if you never had kids with someone and you got a divorce, it's almost like you just broke up with an ex-boyfriend or something. You literally have no ties to them anymore, and there's zero reason for you to be talking to them ever again if you don't feel like it. And if I had that choice, that's exactly what I would have done with my ex-husband. I would have never talked to him again for the last 2 years. And I would have truly forgot about him, because I was saying this to my boyfriend yesterday. I was, sometimes Apple Photos sends you images and it's supposed to be this nice thing that's like, oh, you remember what happened 5 years ago? And it's this happy little image. Well, once you're divorced, they just send you images of the person who previously traumatized you. So I just get images of me and my ex on random vacations, which is not like a great picture to be reminded of. But anyways, the reason I was thinking about it is because my brain has done this weird thing where it has literally magically, thank the Lord, deleted my ex from all my memories. Obviously, I was with my ex for 17 years. From 15 to 33, I was with my ex. So we obviously spent a lot of time together. We went on a lot of vacations together. I objectively know he was at all of these things. If I really rack my brain, is objectively the right word? I don't know. Whatever. I objectively know he was there, but my brain has done this magical thing where it has just poof, deleted him. For example, the memory I recently got was I went on a vacation with him and my parents to Arizona. We road tripped all over Arizona. My brain remembers it as being this really fun trip that only I took with my parents. But Apple Photos reminded me that nope, he was there also. Does that make any sense? I feel like my brain is protecting me by deleting him from memories, but still allowing me to keep the memories. Because, you know, my dad passed away 5 years ago. So there's certain memories I don't want to forget. And thank you, brain. I still get to remember them now in a happier context without annoying people in them. All of that to say, if I had gotten married and we had never had kids, it would have been so easy for me to just delete him from my brain and never think about him ever again. However, I had kids with my ex-husband. So I don't think of him as my ex-husband. I think of him as my kid's dad. And I guess even beyond that, my brain almost thinks of him as not just my kid's dad, but the inconvenient person who's constantly minimizing my time with my kids. And maybe that's not the best way to look at it, but I'm not even necessarily irritated him for the betrayal from a couple years ago. I'm more so irritated that I had kids because I wanted to be with my kids all the time. But in this situation, I don't get to be with my kids all the time. I have split custody. So sometimes, like this Thanksgiving holiday, I'm not going to see my kids on Thanksgiving. The bitterness about divorce, I guess, is less so about the love lost, and it's more so about now the lost time that I don't get to be with my kids going forward. Does that make sense? So that is your answer. That's why I talk about my divorce. It's not because I'm bitter about the marriage ending per se. It's because I'm bitter about not getting to spend every day with my kids, not because of anything I did in my marriage. I can say 100% I was an amazing wife, especially looking back at it now with, you know, hindsight 2020. The only thing I did wrong is I didn't have proper boundaries and I didn't have self-confidence when I was choosing a lifelong partner. And that is what ultimately ended up biting me in the butt. And once I got some self-confidence, I guess you could say, and I realized, you know, you're not supposed to be wondering where your husband is in the middle of the night. You're not supposed to be constantly criticized, told that you need plastic surgery, walking on eggshells, and you make the tiniest mistake and they blow up. Once I realized that that was not normal and I stood up for myself, that's kind of when my marriage ended. And it's really sad that it even got to that point. And so I guess I share all of this because I want to help out other women in similar situations, let them know that there is better out there. You don't have to put up with poor treatment. But I do want to also drive home the fact that if you do get a divorce and you have kids, whether you like it or not, that person is in your life and your kids' life for the rest of your lives. God, I hate that. So yeah, that's a really long answer, but that's why I still talk about my divorce, because I still got to deal with him every freaking day. This Thanksgiving is going to come and I'm not going to be able to be with my kids. Last Christmas, my boyfriend and I, neither of us had our kids. We went to Minnesota to be with my family. And I can remember watching my niece and nephew. I don't want to get emotional. I can remember my niece and nephew opening up their Christmas gifts, and I'm so happy for them and for my brother and his wife, and they're like a beautiful family. But it broke my heart that I didn't have my kids there also. I can be happy for my family and still like sad for me. That sounds like kind of selfish. Happy for my family, but sad for me. I don't know. It is sad for me though. I had kids because I wanted to be with them all the time, and now I don't get to. But anyways, I'm not going to have my kids this Thanksgiving, and neither is my boyfriend. So instead of torturing myself and going and seeing family for the holidays. It's a double-edged sword. You know, I want to see my family for the holidays, but I also just want to kind of escape from the fact that I don't have my kids. So this Thanksgiving, we're going to Costa Rica. I'm really excited about that. Just him and I. I'm not sad about my marriage ending. My marriage was a terrible marriage. So I'm actually so happy that that is over. I'm just sad that I don't get to be with my kids all the time. And that clearly does still affect me deep, deep in my heart. And that's why I talk about my divorce all the time. Oh, all right. I guess we should keep cleaning this kitchen, huh? Okay, and I'm just realizing this now. Like, these cabinets up top are so dirty. Let me clean that. What is going on here? My kids are climbing on counters to get cups and stuff with full on gobs of Nutella on their hands. I got rid of so much stuff. There's so much trash. And then, I mean, this maybe doesn't look like a lot, but this thing is freaking huge. And it's got layers and layers and layers of donates.
Doing the final clean now that we worked through that layer of clutter, I truly understand and feel what we talked about in the beginning of this video about 3 layers, and you have to work through each layer before getting to the final destination, which is a tidy, clean, and organized home. As you saw in the beginning of this video, it has taken me years to get to this point, but it feels so good. But I hope this was motivating for you. Sometimes it feels like when you see people's homes online, they're already at the final destination of a perfectly tidy home, and it seems like it was so easy. But I hope sharing my journey shows you that it is not an overnight thing. At least not for me. It wasn't.
I gotta go get my kids from school. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you want to keep hanging out, I will have decluttering and cleaning playlists floating over the screen at this point, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.